Look at these 4 images. We have been trained to expect this. The ad version is always better. The burger on the tray never looks like the burger in the picture. We know this before we even order. We factor in the gap automatically. But here is what happens when you don't expect it. When we are fed one image of a person, polished, authoritative, confident, and then suddenly we see them in a moment they didn't fully prepare it for, and something inside us says, wait, where is that person? Who is this? That moment of confusion, that slight internal friction is not random. That is our nonverbal intelligence working, reading signals that the official version was not designed to send. And it's exactly what millions of people experienced watching the video I'm going to talk about. The question I want to ask today is not, was this a good ad? The question is, what do our signals reveal when the performance layer drops? And more importantly, do you know what yours are revealing right now? I'm Tatiana Teppoeva, nonverbal intelligence, personality profiler, and executive presence expert. And let me show you what I see. I want you to watch something specific throughout the video I will be showing you soon, something small, something almost nobody noticed. I will come back to it at the very end, and once you see it, the whole video looks a bit different. Before we look at what happened in that video, we need to understand who we are watching. Chris Kempczinski, 57 years old, Duke University, Harvard MBA, career built through Procter & Gamble brand management, PepsiCo corporate strategy, Kraft Foods international operations. He is CEO of McDonald's since 2019 and chairman since 2024. His annual compensation is approximately $19 million. And here's what most people don't know. In college, his nickname was the Colonel, after Duke's legendary basketball coach. He was named that not for warmth or charisma, but for discipline, structure, and strategic control. His former boss at Kraft Foods described him as a business savant, someone who translates insights into actions and into results, analytical, precise, systems focused. He came into the CEO role in an unusual way. His predecessor was dismissed for violating company values. Kempczinski's entire entry was built around value restorations, ethics, culture, and credibility. In my personality profiling framework, this is the executor analyst type. The executor is a dominant pattern, audit-driven, structured, deeply focused on how things work, not how they look. The executor builds systems that last across 100 countries. The executor restores organizational values after crisis. But underneath that, the analyst, someone whose energy lives inside the head, processing, modeling, optimizing before acting. His entire career arc moved from brand strategy and P&G to corporate strategy at PepsiCo to international operations at Kraft to global strategy at McDonald's. That is not a straightforward operator's path. That is someone who spent decades studying how systems work before running them. Together, this combination produces something very specific, a leader who is excellent at running complexity and genuinely uncomfortable performing enthusiasm he does not actually feel. Notice what is already visible. Every data point about this man points in the same direction: control, discipline, analytical, precision, long-term system thinking. And now the board is asking the colonel to pick up a burger and say, enjoy this. That is performer's territory, the initiator's territory, not the executor's analysts. One more thing, some people say he doesn't eat McDonald's food. Actually, he does eat it. He has said so consistently. Egg muffin, no bacon. Fries almost every single day. He's not hiding from the product. That is a perception problem. And perception is built from signals, not from facts. He is a slim marathon runner, a system thinker with a Harvard MBA, nicknamed the Colonel. And the brand he leads is built on indulgence, speed, and emotional simplicity. Those are not opposing things from a business strategy perspective, but they're very different things from a signal perspective. And his body is about to show us exactly the difference.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the big arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious big arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, oh, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but big arch, try it when you can get it.
So, what did you notice? Most people felt something was off before they could name it. The comments filled immediately. Robotic, unenthusiastic, he doesn't want to be here. And here is what is interesting about the public reaction. It didn't split the way a typical bad ad does, half laughing and half moving on. Here, 2 things happened at once. A large portion mocked it, and separately, a loud thread of resentment ran through the comments. Corporate greed, prices too high, workers unpaid, the gap between what this company charges and what it delivers. People were not just reacting to an awkward video, they were reacting to incongruence. And here is what I noticed. When a person earns $19 million a year and their body cannot perform basic enthusiasm for the products that generate that income, the audience senses the gap even when they cannot name it. That is not just bad marketing, that is a signal problem. His competitors noticed too. Wendy's launched Chief Tasting Officer recruitment campaign within days, directly mocking the video. Burger King, A&W, and Jack in the Box all piled on. When your competitors get free marketing from your CEO's body language, the gap has become expensive. Some called it the worst marketing mistake of his career. Others said the opposite, that no polished ad could have generated 10 million views, competitor responses, and global news coverage. That a failed ad is still an ad. That controversy is attention, and attention is everything. Maybe they are right. Maybe this was calculated. Maybe someone in that room knew exactly what they were doing. But here is what I know. Whether it was a mistake or a strategy, the signals were real. The body doesn't perform on command. And whatever the intention was behind the camera, what came through in front of it was not enthusiasm. That part was not scripted. Let me show you exactly what created it. He says, I love this product.
I love this product.
Notice this word, product. When people talk about food they actually enjoy, they say this burger, this meal, this sandwich. They don't say product. Just imagine I say about the video I created for YouTube like this one. I like this product I created. Does it sound natural? What if I say I like this video that I created? This is more natural, right? Product is the language of a supply chain meeting, not a lunch table. It is how you refer to something you are responsible for selling, not something you are excited to eat. Small word and very large gap. Now listen to this.
Unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun, got sort of the cheese.
A very unique kind of sesame poppy, sort of bun, and later sort of cheeses. In communication analysis, words like kind of and sort of are called hedges. They appear when someone is thinking while speaking instead of delivering a message they have rehearsed or internalized. I listened to his other interviews. This is not how he normally speaks. He is more precise, structured, and analytical. The hedging is specific to this task. It tells us something about his relationship to what he's being asked to do here. And then we already knew McDonald's food was kind of, sort of food. He just confirmed it. Next one, he says, It's a big bite for a big arch, and then takes what can only be described as a very small and even tiny bite. Notice this.
That's a big bite for a big arch.
Notice this. The burger is called Big Arch. The ad shows it large, layered, generous. He announces a big bite. And then the bite itself is cautious, contained, minimal. Someone even estimated that he consumed 2.3% of the burger. How big is your bite when you are hungry and excited to eat a burger? The name promises big. The ad promises big. The CEO promises big. None of them delivered big. This is not just funny, this is the entire thesis of this video compressed into 4 seconds. Marketing says one thing, reality delivers another. And the body shows us which version is real before we even finish chewing. And now another one. I don't even know how to attack it.
I don't even know how to attack it.
Most people don't attack their lunch. This is the language of someone improvising in real time, searching for words, feeling silence. When the brain is performing and processing simultaneously, when the body and the message are not aligned, the word choices drift. The nervous system reaches for whatever it finds first. Also, you usually attack something you don't like, enemy. So if you believe in McDonald's food, why would you feel that you have to attack it as an enemy? Another moment to highlight. He opens with, "This is something we tested already." And his hand forms a blocking gesture at exactly the same moment.
This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada.
Preemptive justification and the blocking gesture appear together. It signals one thing. The speaker is already anticipating criticism and trying to close it before it arrives. The CEO of McDonald's is defending a burger. Why does that feel necessary to him? The body already knows the answer. Now let's watch this. Same person, same camera format, same general setup. Notice the difference.
So I have for you the Ghost Pepper McChicken sandwich from Canada. Now this sandwich, well, I'm gonna eat it first and then I'm gonna give you a little factoid here. Woo, that is hot. Little fun fact, spiciness is measured in Scoville units. 1,000,000 Scoville units in this. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. It means that it's 100 times spicier than a jalapeno pepper. And look, I'm not even sweating.
In Ghost Pepper, it's more expressive, more animated. The face and the words are running on the same track. In Big Arch, it's more contained, flat. The performance and the body have separated there. This is what I call signal drift, when signals shift under pressure. The person is not lying, the person is not trying to deceive you, but something about this particular task has created a gap between what they are presenting and what their nervous system is actually communicating. And this was not just one video. The Mac Rib, the Mac Plant, the Chicken Big Mac, the Big Arch, at least 6 documented instances of the same pattern. One awkward video is a bad day, 6 videos is a signal. And the Big Arch was the worst of all of them. Even compared to his own previous videos, same format, same camera, same CEO, this one was different. This is where the gap became impossible to ignore. In a separate video from July 2024, he answers various questions, and one of them was, "Why build your career at McDonald's?" He gives a professional answer, and then he says, "But it's a fun brand," and watch his head at that exact moment. It moves from right to left, slightly, but it's there.
And it's a fun brand.
When the head shakes no, while the mouth says yes, the head is telling you what the person actually believes. He has spent years building a career at McDonald's. He may respect the business deeply. He may be excellent at running it, and the results show he is. But when asked if it is a fun brand, his nervous system gave a different answer than his words. I don't know why. Maybe the word fun feels like the wrong description for what McDonald's actually is from the inside. Maybe there is a gap between the brand's self-image and what he sees every day running 4,000 restaurants. Maybe something else entirely. The head shake doesn't tell us the reason. It tells us one thing only. He doesn't fully believe what he just said. And that is enough, and we see it when he eats the burger too. Now notice what his face is doing here. Not the words, not the gestures, just the face. This is what I call a micro-expression leak. The moment between the performance and the recovery. He's trying to hold the presentation together, and for a fraction of a second, the face shows you something different. A person who genuinely enjoys what they're eating doesn't look like this. The enjoyment shows before the words arrive. Here, the words arrive first, and the face follows reluctantly, slightly delayed, slightly forced, slightly somewhere else entirely. That gap between the genuine reaction and the performed one, that is the signal. You can spot a fake smile, right? And once you learn to see it, you will notice it everywhere in meetings and presentations, in performance reviews, where someone is telling you everything is fine. And now, here is a sentence that explains everything in this video. His body doesn't belong to McDonald's. It belongs to someone who runs marathons, optimizes systems, and thinks in frameworks, not someone who sells kind of, sort of indulgence. He's slim, marathon runner, analytically precise system thinker. The brand he leads is built on indulgence, speed, affordability, and emotional simplicity. Operationally, he's excellent. Global system-wide sales grew 7% to over $139 billion in 2025. The business is performing, but operational excellence and brand embodiment require completely different signal profiles. Some leaders embody their brand naturally because the brand is an extension of who they already are. Kim Chinsky is not that kind of leader for this kind of brand, and the body shows it every time he picks up a burger. Kim Chinsky is the right leader for the complexity of what McDonald's today, but the brand keeps asking him to do something his body is not able to deliver. And 6 videos across several years, the body keeps giving the same answer. Now, let me show you 2 more images. This is the official version. The leader, the strategist, the man running 40,000 restaurants across 100 countries. Same person, 2 versions, one official, one accidental. We accept the gap in products automatically. The ad burger will never be the tray burger. We know this before we order. But here is what I want you to think about. Have you ever looked at a beautiful ad, a product, a place, a job posting, and already thought, the real thing will not look exactly like this, and then been surprised anyway? Or not surprised, just quietly disappointed? You read the resume, you heard the pitch, you saw the polished version, and then you meet the person in an unguarded moment, under pressure, in a real situation when the preparation ran out, and the 2 versions didn't match. Maybe the surprise was positive, someone exceeded what the official version promised. Maybe it was negative. For example, the confidence at the interview did not survive the first difficult presentation to the leadership. Either way, you notice even if you cannot explain it. This is nonverbal intelligence, and it operates in every person watching this video, whether they have a name for it or not. This is a universal experience this video triggered. Not that the CEO was awkward, but I see the gap, I feel the gap, and I couldn't explain why. And now, here is a harder question. Do you know what gaps exist between your official version and your real one? Are you consistent in the resume and at the interview, and when you present results under pressure, in the meeting and the hallway conversations after it? Because the people across the table from you are reading those gaps. Even when, especially when, they can't explain what exactly they're reading, they just feel it. I told you at the beginning there was something almost nobody noticed. Watch the fries. At the start of the video, nearly gone. Later in the video, there are more of them. This video was filmed in multiple takes or assembled from footage out of sequence, which means what was presented as a spontaneous CEO tasting moment was produced as a constructed one. Remember those 4 images at the very start of this video? The ad burger and the real burger? The polished CEO and the real one? That gap was designed. It was intentional. We expected it. The fries gap was not. The fries changed because someone forgot to control that detail. And this is exactly how signal inconsistency works in real communication. The words are managed, the delivery is rehearsed, the framing is planned. And then something small shifts, a detail that was not in the script, and the whole story starts to feel stitched together. You have seen this in organizations, a performance review that suddenly mentions things that were not a problem before, a message from leadership that pivots in a direction nothing prepared you for, a conversation that starts one way and arrives somewhere completely different. That is the phrase changing. The story stopped being coherent. The phrase reset. The authenticity does not. And here is what I find most interesting about this detail. One comment said, "Why in the world would they skimp on the phrase in their own PR video?" And it got 289 likes. Some people caught it. That is the point. When a story is not coherent, audiences notice. They may not always know what to call it, but they feel it and they find it. So, what do we take from all of this? Nonverbal intelligence is working. Every single person watching that video had it. Most of them will never develop it further than a gut feeling. The gut feeling is what I teach people to name and use deliberately. We often cannot sell what we don't feel. We often cannot show what we don't believe in. And we often cannot play a role that belongs to someone fundamentally different from who we are. The body will find a way to say so. This is why reading nonverbal signals is one of the most valuable professional skills you can develop. Not to judge people, not to catch people, but because signals carry information that words are designed to manage. And the gap between the two is where the real story lives. Are you aware of the signals you are sending? Do you know whether you look congruent in the meetings and after it, in the interview and under pressure, when you are confident and when you are not? Because the people across the table are reading you the same way you just read this CEO. Most of them cannot explain what they are reading. That doesn't mean they are not reading it. The question is not whether you have gaps. Everyone has them. The question is whether you know where yours are before the cameras and other eyes do. A $19 million salary doesn't protect you from your own nervous system. It just means more people are watching when it shows up. I'm Tatiana Teppoeva. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, when was the last time you felt the gap between someone's official version and their real one? In a product, in a person, in yourself? Because Kim Chinsky is not unusual, he is just visible. The rest of us have the same gaps, we just have smaller audiences when they show up.